Hello, I'm making a response to your response to Jules's video and my response to Jules's video. It's a lot of responses there. Anyhow, you ask a couple questions. Some of them I can answer. Some of them I have no idea. Like you were asking about a group in Lhavit that hasn't been developed yet. I don't know what group you're talking about. I thought you were going to say Okamo for a minute, and that's not what you were saying. And I looked at the lower page and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about. So you're going to have to clear up what you're talking about um, for anybody to answer that one. But I totally hear your ideas, and I think you have some good ones. And I think Jules is taking that into consideration too when she's doing all of her stuff. I'm like not into making a video today, even though I feel like I kind of should. But the Skyglass, I can definitely answer that one. I can tell you all I know about that. And basically, Zintilla's um, gnosis is reserved for her priests, the people that like totally love her. And now I can't see myself because Mike is trying to talk to me, and it's covering up my face. So, anyways, I don't know why I have to see myself to make a video. Probably don't need to. Anyways, hi Mike. Um, Skyglass. I'm like all over the place today. I'm not in to Mizahar today because I'm getting ready to go to work, so I'm thinking about work. So anyways, basically, it's a killer gnosis. It's probably one of my favorite things ever. I actually developed it for something else, but I never got a chance to implement it, which I was really thankful that I didn't, because I gave it like days, weeks, months of thought, and I have a huge write-up about it, and it's all geared towards another site, which didn't get it. Yay! Um, Although, like, people on Mizahar probably recognize it, like Liminal, because he got to play with it a little bit other places. So basically what it is in Kalia, when meteors fall to the ground, they're super valuable, and there are people that will actually go out and try to find them. Because meteors become the seeds of this gnosis. And what you have to do is you have to have the raw material of a meteor. It doesn't take much. It just takes, like a little tiny bit. And depending upon your mark, you can create all sorts of things from this meteor. The meteor becomes a little seed. So actually there's no limit to how much. And Skyglass isn't really like rare as a building material. I'm getting another cat. He might walk across the screen in a minute now. But anyways, this video is just gonna suck, but I'm just gonna post it like it is because I'm not gonna do a bunch of takes. I'm not a rehearser type person. The cat jumped down. He was on my computer table. Anyhow, so you take the little seed, and depending on your gnosis, you can grow something with that seed using your gnosis mark from Zintilla. And it's always a translucent material. It's not opaque. You can see through it. It's clear. It looks like glass, but it's not. It's really hard, and it doesn't shatter when you break, that kind of stuff. So like Mark 1, you can make things like armor. You can make things like daggers. It's restricted by the size of the material, the seed that you have. And I'm sorry, I might have to go kill Giller. He's like sitting across the room mocking me subtly, like I won't notice, but I notice because I've like 100 in observation. So if you see me hurl something at him or whatever, it's just because he's being obnoxious. And he's doing that little kid thing that guys do where they kind of like repeat everything you say because they're trying to be funny, or they're childish, or they're both. And he's trying really hard not to laugh right now. So see what I have to put up with. Anyhow, second marks, you can make building block size materials. Skyglass kind of looks like, that doofy, very popular glass block they used to make bathrooms out of in like the 80s. and like dance clubs and stuff like that. They would make bars out of them. That's what Skyglass kind of looks like. It's really thick, and it's very insulated. So you can have like whole buildings made out of it, and you don't have a lot of heat loss. So as you progress up in marks, you can grow bigger things. So basically, if a Mark III priest or priestess of Zintilla walks up, has a seed material, they can basically grow a building in just a few hours from this little piece of rock. And they can grow it to specs. A lot of them have engineering, construction, architecture type skills, and they just grow it however they need it to be grown, or up to specs of whoever's paying them to do it. And that's their service to Lhavit. So it can be tinted different colors. You can't make it so it's not see-through, but it can be like translucent clear, it can be like translucent blue, it can be like translucent green, that kind of stuff. They can tint it, but again, it's always see-through. And pretty much it's just like the fastest way on the planet to build something, unless you're a really talented earth remancer, and I think Skyglass is a lot more pretty than earth remancy. Although you can make earth remancy really pretty if you like turned your rock into precious stones, which is cool. You know, I don't know if you've ever seen high-end mansions with like malachite inlay on the walls. They're pretty killer. So that would be like the only thing I could think of that would be more beautiful than Lhavit. So yeah, Lhavit's got it going on. And almost all the buildings are made of Lhavit. Hi Julie. I can't make a video without my aim interrupting me. Anyways, the other thing I was going to say, what was the other? Oh, I was going to go into a little blurb about basically how, maybe I shouldn't get into this, but it's probably better that I do. My audio is doing something weird now. Ooh, funky. Anyways, I don't know what's wrong with my computer. I think AIM is messing it up. Okay, so we'll just ignore the fact that audio is off a little bit. And when somebody applied to put in a new city, they did a big write-up in the help desk, and it was all Asian, and it was pretty darn cliche, like samurais and geisha girls walking around and all this honor and all these crime families and all this other stuff. And we said no, and they said, what can we do to get it passed? And we said, make it original. And then I worked with the individual for quite a while, and we came up with this kind of celestial new age scenario, and they were like, cool. And so we passed it through, and they were able to put in Lhavit. Now, Lhavit was already on the map, and sorry, Lhavit. I'm getting mocked again across the room. He enjoys this, obviously. God, this video is awful. Stupid computer. I wonder if I can close AIM and make it even better. I might be able to, because AIM just sucks. Okay, does that help? No. It's a whole bunch of programs running at once. Okay, so basically, so we passed it as this celestial center that was sort of new agey with all the Skyglass, and I told them about my idea and my write-up and the stuff I wanted to put in the game for the Priests of Zintilla, and they were like, oh cool, we'll make the city out of that and we'll do this, and they ran with the idea. We approved it, and then basically all of us got super busy. We didn't pay attention, and before we knew it, there was an Asian city, just exactly like we didn't agree to let happen. So that was really frustrating. And several of us really worked to correct it, and I was one of those people. We got it half rewritten, but it's hard running your own cities, babysitting other cities, babysitting other assistant storytellers, watching the help desk, helping new players, helping with the character sheets. Thank God we have the liaisons now, so that's a shout out to them. But it's hard doing all of that at once, because otherwise, if you don't watch all of it at the same time, you get complete and utter messes, especially with the character sheets and people showing up with like 4 or 5 marks for Ivik, that kind of thing. That did actually happen. Anyhow, so that's how come Lhavit is in such a mess. And I just wanted to add one last thing before I close this video down, and that is, I see what Jules was saying by Victorian, and I don't think she meant like the clothing and the like the snootiness, that kind of thing. I think she meant the idea that Victorian era architecture and art and even the newfound sciences in that part of history were astonishing. I mean, it was like the age of discovery, and people were just like deep intellectual thinkers, and there was a lot of philosophers that came out of the Victorian era. And I think that's the thing that she was trying to communicate, because unlike all of you guys, I talk to Julie day in and day out, and I can kind of interpret Julie's, I guess you could call it. So when she said that, I knew what she meant, but I knew it wasn't like, you know, the little shoes, you know, that you have to button up 1,500 times with the little tool. She didn't mean that. She meant the atmosphere of intellect that was surrounding that era. Yeah, so anyhow, I'm going to close this video out and see if it'll upload before I have to leave for work. And hopefully that will answer your questions on the Skyglass. And if you, and it's going to be just for the priests of Zentilla. So you really have to have it going on with Zentilla. And we'll develop the priesthood, that kind of stuff. It was written up at one time, but it was written up kind of poorly, so it didn't get approved. And there's just certain things on the game I'm learning that I just need to do myself. But the problem is my list is so long. I need to get Samuel's Gnosis done, melee, and I have to get Audius done before, like, there's a lynch mob out there to get me if I don't get Audius done. So those 2 Gnosis have to be done first. And then I can branch off and do a couple of other things. I need to get the NPC library done in Riverfall. Mura needs a whole bunch of attention. It's just sad that Mura's been neglected. So there's a lot of things on my plate. Zentilla's priesthood is probably not going to be a super high priority. I can write up her Gnosis no problem very quickly, but it's kind of like useless if you write up the Gnosis and don't have the priesthood written up. So if somebody wants to tackle that and talk to me about it, that would be pretty helpful. If you want to do something with Lhavit, that will really aid the city's development. And that's all for now. Hope that helped.